greenhouse is an absolute tip. Kenny took some of the big pots out yesterday that have been overwintering in here, but today I'm going to try and get this place sorted out because I want to get the seeds in today. But oh, it's filthy. There's bags of sawdust which make it so dusty, and we had a poorly hen staying in here through the winter a little bit, so there's stuff all over the floor. Anyway, I'm going to get on with it. It's all mould on the bench. Gonna breathe it in.
Should have a dust mask on.
I know, sure.
Do you want one?
Yeah.
Dusty, alright, isn't it?
It's all fungus, that.
Minging, yeah. Horrible.
There you go, that's the greenhouse, nice and tidy, sort of. I'm full of dust. Yeah, done what we can. Still full of junk, but it's better than it was. I'll show you my little watering can. My daughter got me that for Mother's Day. That's going to be perfect for watering my seedlings when we get started, which is hopefully going to be today, if I can summon up the strength. I'm going to try and experiment this year. I'm going to compare some different types of compost when I do my seedlings, just to see if there's really a difference between the expensive ones and the cheap ones. I have to admit, I always go for the cheapest everything, not just in compost, in everything that I do. Sometimes that works, sometimes it's worth it, and sometimes it isn't. So I'm just going to try. I haven't been able to get as good a variety as I wanted this year with the pandemic and the garden centres are shut and what have you. One thing I am going to try though is using my own homemade compost. I'm just sieving it now. We're going to take it back to the house and get on and start putting some seeds in, and I've got a super cheap variety from Home Bargains. I think that's about the cheapest one on the market, and one or two others in between, and we'll just put them to the test side by side. I'll plant the same seeds in each one and see if we can find a difference. I'd like to know for my own purposes, is it worth buying the more expensive? Also, I thought it'd be interesting for you to watch. Full of worms, just trying to pick them out and toss them on the border. Right, that'll do. So that looks like pretty nice quality to me for planting seeds in. I'm pretty pleased with that. This is expandable coir compost that you just put it in the bucket and add 10 litres of water and let it expand. It's quite a good idea because it means that you're not having to heave heavy bags of compost around if you haven't got transport. Seems a lot of water for that, doesn't
Too
it?
much. Don't do any more.
That's it. So I've got 4 different types of compost in the end. I've got the compost that I've just picked up from the allotment, the homemade stuff. I've got this cocoa coir compost, which I'm busy expanding now. Not 100% sure I'm going to use that. Maybe 4 different ones, maybe a bit much. This is me home bargains. Grow more it is. It's just left over from last year. We'll try it. It's the kind of thing I've always used in the past. And this is multi-purpose John Innes compost, just a little bag. As I say, I couldn't get a hold of... Oh, Nancy, will you be quiet? That bloomin' hen, she's a menace. I couldn't get the types of compost I wanted with the lockdown, but we'll try it with this and we'll make a record of it and I'll show you the results as we go along. So I've sorted out the seeds I want to plant this morning. I've really overdone it with the tomato seeds this year. I think I've got about 5 or 6 different varieties. So I'll plant some of them today. I've got some different lettuces, a few different lettuces there to plant, different varieties. Some patty pan squash, which I've never tried before. Pretty excited about those. Well, you can see. Some beetroot. I've chose to do some cylindra beetroot this year, which they literally grow long into the ground rather than the fat ones. I've got some cabbage, some spinach beet. I'm going to do these little short gherkin cucumbers and try and pickle them this year. And a few other odds and ends. We'll see how we'll get on. I've got some flower seeds I'll put in later on as well. So as I say, I'm going to put the same seeds into each tray with different compost and we'll be able to compare them side by side as we go along. I'm rooting for this homemade compost. This is the one that I want to do the best. A, because I made it, and B, because well, it's completely free, isn't it? If you could produce enough of this, you would never need to buy compost again, which would be fantastic. Of course, that's always the clincher, isn't it? Trying to make enough compost. You can never make enough. Right, I've got 3 composts. The coconut coir I've made a mess of. It was supposed to be added 4 litres of water and I've added 10. So scrap that. I've got homegrown compost, I've got John Innes compost and I've got home bargains. The hardest thing about this is going to be keeping track of what I've got in all these trays. Because I don't want to do like a full tray of tomatoes and a full tray of whatever else. I need to put a little bit of each in everything. So I'm just going to get going. Sun gold tomato. There's 10 seeds in here, so that only leaves me 3 seeds for each tray. Bit mean that, isn't it? 10 seeds in a packet. I wonder what I paid for them. Specs are going to have to go on for this. You made exactly 10 seeds as well, someone counted it. Right, I've just put 3 into one little hole, and I'm going to have to write down what I've got. Sun gold.
seeing they're so tiny, you know.
Right, that's me. I've got the 3 different types of compost with a whole load of different seeds in there. I hope I can keep track of it, but I will keep you informed of how they come up and how they carry on growing as we go. I think it's quite an interesting little experiment. The most difficult thing is, if you can see me notes, trying to keep note of what I've planted in each one, because as I say, I can't do a full tray of tomatoes or something. That's not going to show us anything. So I've had to put a few seeds in each little one of all different types of things. I've got a few tomatoes in there, all different varieties. I've got patty pan, squash, celery, 3 different types of kale, beets, a couple of lettuces, cabbages, lovage, sunflower, and on it goes. Yeah, so that's it. I'm going to carry on now, and I'm going to plant out some nice flowers as well. But I'll keep you informed on how these go. Catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.